Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Alicia Gogan, the host of the Globe Seekers podcast, where I help you expand your mind to become more self-aware so that you can glow up into the best version of yourself. Hello, how are we doing? I have to be real with you guys. I was going to take a full week off of the podcast. I wasn't going to post on Monday or Thursday. So if you guys didn't notice, I didn't post on Monday because it's Christmas on Monday. And I'm saying it's Christmas on Monday because I'm pre-recording this episode, but I think the Monday is the actual Christmas. So I was like, you know what? I'm going home, holidays, let's just not. And then I was just going to leave the Thursday episode as a break because I need a break from my content. And same thing with my main channel. Like, I only have a few more videos going out and then we kind of like start back into the new year. But today I was journaling and I just had a quick few thoughts that I wanted to come on and share. And I felt like it kind of worked to just say this now before the new year. And then we'll reconvene in the new year and we'll talk about, I have so many good topics for the podcast for January, by the way. I went through all of my podcast and YouTube ideas and I organized everything. I just have so many good, juicy content. So anyways, I'm excited for that. But I also did feel a little bit weird just like not saying like Happy New Year or like anything like that. So I'm kind of happy that I'm on the podcast right now. Anyways, I don't really have too much of a plan other than I want to talk about this idea of planting your seeds now, like starting to really plant your seeds now. So let's just like talk about where I got this idea from. First of all, actually, if you're watching on YouTube, I made these little candles last night with my friend Frida, and if this is such a good girls' night idea, go to the dollar store, buy some basic white candles. And I know you can only see this on the podcast, but I painted little hearts on them. And also I painted little cherries on them as well. Like, how cute is that? And you can just pull up Pinterest ideas of like designs for candles and paint them. I just think that's such a cute, fun idea. You can also like gift them to people. Anyways, I just figured I would like say that just if anyone wanted something to do over the holidays. So obviously the new year is right around the corner. So naturally we just think about all the things that we have done, all the things we haven't, all the plans that we have, this, that, and the third, prepping. And I did make a prep for 2024 on my main channel. If you have not already watched that, I would highly suggest because I just give you a whole run through, mood board, template, everything. But I was journaling this morning, which I've been really getting back into my journal practice in the mornings. And oh my gosh, I've been having the best deep sleep of my life. And I'm just very well right now. After the stress that I've gone through in the past 1 to 2 months, I'm very well right now. Anyways, and I was journaling this morning. I was just doing like self-concept journaling, just, really pouring into myself and writing from the version of me who already has everything that I've been wanting in my life. But something that I wrote in my journal was, I really want to continue influencing people to stop living in their head and start to really take that action. And then I was reflecting on the things that I have done in my life and how really the reason why I have my dream life is because I've taken a lot of action and I've planted a lot of seeds. And I wrote some of the things, like some examples. So I just want to talk about some of these things and, get you to really like have some perspective onto why I think it's so important to start now and start planting the seed now and start taking that action. And another thing I was writing was, whatever it is that you want in your life, it starts now. And I think about this in the sense of, let's say you want to live in your own 1-bedroom condo in the city. You getting that condo doesn't happen the day you actually get it. Like, let's say the day you sign that lease, you getting your condo starts right now in this moment. And I'll give you an example of like what I'm talking about as it pertains to my life. I moved into this condo in March of 2023. So that was the day that it happened. But in order for me to actually move into this condo, March 2023, there was things that I had to accomplish and do and essentially be before that was even able to happen. So there's many things, but I'll just bring it to my main thing as being a career. I started my TikTok. That was like my main platform before podcasting and YouTube, if you guys are new here. I started my TikTok in the end of 2021, like I was getting really consistent with my TikTok. Then I started making money off of brand deals with my TikTok, and I started growing an audience in which I knew that this is something that I wanted to do, not just because I was making money, but I already knew that I wanted to like go on TikTok and talk about certain topics that I'm essentially talking about now. And so I started that 2021. And then 2022, like fast forward only a little bit, I started making more money, more brand deals. I started building an audience. And now this became more of a real thing for me. And that allowed me to consider moving because where I was living was not the area that I wanted to live in. And I knew that I wanted to leave one of my corporate jobs. I was bartending, but I also had a corporate job. And I wanted to leave the corporate job because I knew I didn't want to move up in that field and I wanted to do content creation full time. But because I started in 2021 and I built that audience and I started making a little bit of money, I was able to then leave my corporate job so that I can just do bartending full time, which actually made me more money in less time. And then I was able to use my time that I had towards building more of an audience. And then I ended up moving into North York, which is like the outskirts of downtown Toronto, but it just felt like I was like closer to the city and I didn't need to be in Markham where I was living because I didn't have that corporate job, which just allowed me to expand. I expand a lot through my environment. Some people don't, but that's what I do. It always has been like that. And once I moved, and I freed up a little bit of my time, that is when I started posting consistently in April 2022 on YouTube. I was able to be consistent because I freed up my time and I was making a little bit of more money. Like it was less consistent because I wasn't making ad revenue and was only doing brand deals and they kind of fluctuate. But I was like starting to like make more money and like really see, okay, this is where I can go with this. And like I have more time to think about how I want to make this a business, blah, blah, blah. And so I was consistent in April and I was posting one video every single week and I was still working. So again, more seeds were being planted. And then by the end of 2022, actually around like October, November is when my channel really blew up and I started making more ad revenue. And now the ad revenue part was even more consistent. Obviously, even though it fluctuates, like ad revenue fluctuates, it was more every single month I was going to get a paycheck, at least of like a certain amount of money that made me feel more secure to be able to leave my bartending job, which was again something that I knew I didn't want to actually continue having. And I wanted to go into this full force. And so when I was able to leave my bartending, again, I freed up more time and I was able to now fully work on my YouTube. Now, mind you, I was taking it basically full time the whole entire time. But again, I was able to just like put out more and make more money and grow this audience and really believe in myself and create impact and do all these things that I really wanted to do, to the point where by the beginning of 2023, I realized I had enough disposable income. I had enough money. I knew and I believed in where I was going, that I was like, it's time for me to move to the city. Like, it's time for me to expand more. It's time for me to like go live my life and, you know, continue to pursue whatever it was that I needed to pursue. And doing that, I was able to then look for places and I was able to then secure my condo because obviously of all of those steps that I took starting from 2021. And so you can look at my life and say, well, you got the condo and you got the place in middle of March of 2023. But realistically, I planted the seed in 2021. And if we want to take it back like further, like many other seeds in my life, and I would like to say like the first seed that I ever ever planted was around the time when my dad passed away. I was around just almost turned 16. And I really started getting into self-development and like changing my life. Something was really big with the loss of a parent, which is very normal. And then my mom was going through her addiction. So I ended up getting like deep into self-development in a way, learned a bunch of stuff, lost myself 1,000,000 times, but like I still was planting those seeds in which it led me to be able to handle the rides and the waves of life better. And then I was able to like, again, work on myself and grind and do the things I needed to do in order to get to where I am right now. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like we have these goals and these dreams in our minds, right? Like my suburban house that I really want, or the husband or the children and the family that I like envision myself having, or the body that I envision myself having. sometimes we just live life as if it's just like one day it's going to happen. And yes, technically like that, there's going to be a day you meet your man, right? There's going to be a day you get married. There's going to be a day that you sign the mortgage and like you buy your house. There's going to be those days, but what are the seeds that we are planting right now? Because this is the most important part of the whole entire process. Your home and your YouTube channel and your finances and your relationships, all the things that you want, it starts today. Your new relationship, your new healthy relationship starts today. It doesn't start when you actually meet him. Your home, your suburban home, it starts now, right? The money that you're saving now, the decisions that you make with your finances now. I even think about this when it comes to my fertility as a woman. Obviously, fertility and making sure that we're really healthy is very important. At least for me, it's very, very important, okay? And I think about, okay, obviously I want children. Well, what can I do the best to my abilities? It doesn't have to be perfect, but what can I actually be doing right now that's going to then down the line, 1, 2, 3 years, allow me to be in the best shape essentially that I can to give myself the best possibility to have a child in a way. Again, you can't really pre-plan everything, obviously, but there are things in your life that are going to lead you not only closer and faster to those goals, but lead you to the goal or take you off track. And I just think sometimes we really forget that. We really forget that the dream life, it starts now. And I think also I posted a video on my main channel. It's already going to be up, so you can go watch it. I'll link down below, but I talk about how your glow up starts now. And I think on Instagram, you know that quote that everyone reposts, the give yourself 6 months, work on yourself, take care of yourself, this, that. I used to always repost those and like never did anything. And sometimes low key, and I know it kind of sounds judgmental, but whatever. I see certain girls from like my hometown, they'll like repost those things like over and over again. And it's not to say that they have not changed, because I also like don't know everything that goes on in their lives, but there's some people who definitely are reposting the same things, but then also like their actions are the exact same as like 800 years ago, and maybe they're not the healthiest. Again, I'm not here to judge. People are on their own journeys. But when I see that, I'm like, listen, let's stop reposting the quote. I mean, we can repost the quote if we want, but let's stop reposting the quote of thinking like, oh yeah, 6 months time, and focus on right now. What are we going to do right now? And in that video, I was talking about my hair. I want my hair to be even longer and fuller and thicker in the summertime. That starts with me every single week doing my hair care routine that I know is going to give me the results. I want nicer, bigger, stronger glutes and muscles and just like a better body in a way. Better is not the best word, but whatever, I'll use it for now. It doesn't start 3 weeks before summer. It starts right now. Like, your body needs time to grow, to build muscle. If you're retraining your appetite, if you are wanting to grow your hair or your skin health, if you need to heal your gut health, like healing your gut takes time. It's not going to take like one supplement in like 3 days. You're going to be fixed. Like the really important, long lasting, sustainable things that we want in our lives, which we all essentially want, it takes time. And I think that let's stop trying to look for quick fixes and doing things half-assed and only taking action for a little bit of time or not at all and only thinking in our head, and actually take that action now. And I think that I used to be such a dreamer. I used to always be in my head about the life that I wanted. And again, we can dream, but it starts now. And I even think about, you guys know I talk about suburban life all the time, and I envision there's certain types of friends that I have in the community that I have. I can't just wait for the day that happens when I'm like 30, 35 years old and just like my friends are knocking at my door and like everyone's coming over for game day, or like we're hosting parties or we have a pool party going on. Like, the way that I'm going to build community is right now in this day, being 28, living on my own in a city which I probably won't even be living in my entire life, but it still starts now. It starts by not being such an introvert. It starts by getting out of self-isolation and connecting with people in real life. It starts by going to places in which I don't usually spend my time doing, but I know most likely I'll be able to meet people who are more aligned to the things that I'm interested in, or speaking to people online, or whatever it is. Or even if I want to be a more knowledgeable knowledgeable person that comes on to the camera, let's say, and talks about a topic that can really impact people, maybe if I don't understand that topic fully or I'm not able to speak on that yet, it doesn't mean that every night I can't pick up a book and start reading on a topic that I want to actually embody and be somebody who's able to speak on that, right? It's not just going to be like one day I wake up and I can just like talk about something that's like really deep or very scientific. It's those small little steps, those small little seeds that I've been planting or I've been taking every single day. And I think that we just look over those things so much. And I think there's many reasons why we do that, but a lot of the times we're just really big perfectionists as well. So I feel like if we wake up in the morning, we feel like we have to feel our best or we have to take huge steps in order to like become this person, when really it's the small things. It's reading 2 pages out of your book instead of a whole entire book, right? Or it's simply going outside and making eye contact with someone that you usually pass every single day, instead of like thinking about, oh my God, I need to make new friends, so I have to go into this like huge social situation where I've never been in and like I don't know anyone and I'm very uncomfortable. Like, yes, that's a part of the journey that you'll probably have to go on, but you don't have to do that right now. You can do that baby step of going out into life and connecting, looking at people, petting a dog that your neighbor always has, and maybe you start a conversation that way. Like, small little things will get you to the big dreams that you have in your life. And I just think we look over those a lot of the times. And I think something that's really also nice about that though is it doesn't actually take as much work as we think. Because I think sometimes we think when we want like the dream house or all of the friends or the perfect relationship or whatever, it's like, oh my God, there's so many steps that I have to take. But really, those small baby steps get you the results. And even thinking about fitness or health, right? It's like you want like glutes or you want like a nicer body, you want to be a little bit thinner, whatever it is. It can feel like it's a lot, like so many things that you have to do, but those small little steps, like, okay, for my gym routine, every week I make sure that I'm either changing my rep range or my weight, and I'm not changing it by much. Maybe I'm upping my reps about 2 to 4 reps if I'm working at the same weight, or the next week I'm adding maybe 5 more pounds to my hip thrust, and that's it. And it's like not that much, but over time, the more my body gets used to it, the more I'm getting stronger and the more results that I'm getting. But sometimes we think we have to get into the gym and it's going to be this huge strenuous workout, and that's usually what we do. We do everything all or nothing, and then we burn ourselves out. If we want those results, we have to be consistent and we have to stay sustainable, which means small baby steps. So just thinking about some of the things that you have for the new year and that you want to accomplish, you want to really reverse engineer your process. Okay, if I want a house, a big house in the suburbs, all right, how much is that going to cost? $1.2 million. Okay, how much of a down payment will I need in order to get that loan? Okay, maybe I need $200K. I don't know. I'm just like pulling out numbers. $200K. Okay, well, how many years will that take for me to save up $200K? I don't know. Let's say 2 years. Okay. I'm just, again, numbers. 2 years. Okay. Well, how am I going to make as much money as possible, or $200K, in 2 years? Well, there might be things I have to save on, things I have to cut back on. Maybe I have to pick up a second job. Maybe I have to make sure that I'm investing my money in the right spots in order to grow my money faster. Like, okay, so if I have to do that, then who do I need to talk to? What do I need to learn? What books do I need to read in order for me to know where to put my money, or to know where to save my money the best in order for me to get the $200K, to be able to get the mortgage, to get the loan, you know? So you want to like bring it all the way down. You can even go further than that. Okay, if I have to read this book or reach out to this person or invest in this course or whatever it is that I have to do, how many days out of the month will I sit down and look at my finances and budget? Okay, weekly, what are the 3 things that I'm going to do to save more money or to look for a new job that's going to pay me more? Literally bring it down to the day. And we don't have to micromanage every single thing, but that's seriously how we have to do things in our lives if we actually want those results. Now, I think for a lot of the time, we do know the baby steps that we need to take. It's just sometimes we think that it needs to be a huge step and it doesn't. Or sometimes we just think that it's just going to happen one day. And I just want 2024 to be the year that we stop living in our heads and start living out our actual dream lives. And this is something that takes a lot of self-awareness and self-accountability, because really nobody knows how much you're living in your head but you. And I'm very aware of when I'm dreaming versus living, whether that be just like living my life just normal, not have to do with anything to do with goals, or like just thinking about all of these big goals that I want but not taking that action. Like, you have to really monitor yourself, on a week-to-week basis. Like, am I spending too much time on Pinterest just scrolling but not actually taking action? Am I like daydreaming a lot about things but not actually taking that action? Am I talking about my goals but I'm not actually taking my action? Like, looking at your weeks, well, what are the things that I did do to take my action versus how many times did I actually think about doing this thing? And you got to be real with yourself. And something that I did, it's like, I'm no longer just talking about the things that I want. And it doesn't mean you can't share what you're wanting to do, for sure, but like, you got to have to call yourself out a little bit. How many times are you talking about something but not actually doing it? And I know this, and I know a lot of people resonate with this one. If you wanted to ever be a podcaster, or a YouTuber, same thing, I guess, is I'm going to start my YouTube channel. I'm going to start my YouTube channel next year. I'm going to start my YouTube channel next month. Everyone's always saying, I'm going to start, or you're like, or you're just always asking people the same questions about how do I start? It's not difficult to learn how to start a YouTube channel. Literally, you can learn in half a day by going on YouTube and typing in how to start a YouTube channel in 2024 or 2023, learning like what camera to get and learning what it is that you want to speak on camera. Like, I know you have to kind of like do some research, yes, but we do way too much research and we don't actually take the action. And I know that because I used to always be that person too. Oh, I'm going to start my YouTube channel and this, that, and the third, always talking about it and just like getting in your own way. And I just understand that it's just you getting in your own way. You're playing small. Maybe you're overwhelming yourself, which means, okay, let me break it down into steps. How can I get out of my own way? And I always just tell myself, like, if I'm not going to take that action, then I'm just going to stop talking about it then. This doesn't mean that you have to like give up on your dream, but like, it's kind of annoying in a way. Like, for me personally, like for myself, if I start talking about something for like too much, which I don't tend to do because I'm very aware of this, of like, oh, I'm going to start this thing or that thing. If I say it over and over again, like week after week, I keep talking about it, but I haven't taken any action, I'll call myself up and be like, you know what? You need to stop thinking about this and talking about it until you actually take the action, or like, that's just it. Because this is like, imagine if you had a friend who was constantly every single week of their lives for like 3-4 years saying, I'm going to leave this person, or I'm going to leave this toxic job, or I need more money, or I'm going to start this YouTube channel. Like, it gets annoying after a while. It's just like, do it then, And I think that you have to call yourself out on some of these things. Like, just do it then. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that about this idea of planting your seeds. It starts now. Everything that you want in your life, the vision that you hold, it does start now. And I know sometimes we just want the end result so quickly. We're in a day and age where we want everything right now, really quickly, and we don't really want to feel any discomfort, but it also doesn't have to be that discomforting. Like, baby steps, just take them small and romanticize the process. I actually did put a video out on my main channel about when you have no motivation towards fitness, health, and even like work or your life. I give really good tips in that video as well, but like romanticizing the process and just enjoying it and like not making life so difficult, because a lot of times we do. Because that will really help you actually be consistent. And being consistent is the thing that's going to get you what you want in your life. That's how I grew everything in my life. And that's what I'll continue to do. And the more times you do it, the more times you just become more resilient. But then you also are in the present moment because you're living life, because you're not so attached to the outcome. But then you just know, like, you just end up achieving more in your life because you know the process. Like, for me, going into 2024, I'm going to do the same exact process as I did last year and the year before when it came to my podcast channel, YouTube, any project that I have. I kind of apply the same mindset of like first believing in myself and believing in what I want to do and actually going for something that's aligned to me, obviously, and doing the practices and making sure that I'm like actually embodying this person or this thing that I want to be, and making sure that my life is really supporting that as much as I can, but also just being very consistent, detaching from the outcome, trusting the process, and knowing that it's going to happen. Like, I know my podcast channel is gonna grow. It's continuously growing already. I already knew that the moment that I started my podcast channel. I just like detached from like the subscribers and the views or whatever. I just like, let's keep posting. Let's just keep posting. Let's just do whatever I came here to do, which is not necessarily about the numbers. It's about posting and connecting to people, however many people are here, So yeah, I don't know. I'm just going into this year. I said this in Haley Gamba's video that I did. By the way, whoever watched that video, thank you so much for all the support and the love. Haley and I did a collaboration on her channel regarding like mood boards and prepping for 2024 and glowing up and stuff. There's so many good tips in there from her and from me as well. And I saw the comment section and so many of you guys were so excited and so happy to see both of us collaborating, but also just like the love that I got from you guys. It's interesting to see like so many people say such kind things about me on someone else's channel. And obviously I know the support and love that I get based off of the numbers that I see on the podcast and my YouTube channel, but also the comment sections and my DMs and everything all the time. You guys are just so lovely. But to see people talk about me not on my video, but on someone else's video was so real. It was just so nice. And I just feel like I saw a bunch of faces that I never really saw. Like, I know some people don't comment all the time, silent listeners, that's like a normal thing. But like seeing it on someone else's videos, I was just like I loved it. So anyways, in that video, she asked me to talk about the word of the year that I'm bringing into 2024. And my word was patience. And I think that was one of the things that really got me so many things in my life was patience, because then I was able to continue to stay consistent on things because I wasn't so attached and I wasn't so in this energy of time, urgency, and scarcity. And I was able to continuously show up every single day, week, month on whatever it was that I was working on. And I ended up getting the results in my life. And I've done that consistently. So going into 2024, I'm going to apply the same thing. I'm going to have patience. I'm going to allow things to evolve and flourish the way that it needs to. I'm going to connect deeper to myself. I'm going to, if I have to take breaks, I will take breaks. If I have to listen to my intuition, if I have to move and change and evolve in certain areas in which I wasn't really planning on, I will do it because I know that I don't want too much resistance in my life. I know everything will come by having belief in myself and belief that the universe has my back and that I'm here to evolve and grow. And, I'm here to live out my desires, however long that's going to take. Like, those are some of the things that I have that I carry with me that I will be bringing into 2024. And I hope you guys do. And I think that really helps you in many aspects of life. So I think that's it. I just ranted about that for quite a bit. Just overall message. Everything that you want in your future starts today. Thinking about some of the seeds that you can start planting now, baby seeds, and how can you continue to nourish and water these seeds so that they can flourish, whether that be this summer, next winter, in a few years, whatever it is. And I'm excited to go on this journey with you guys. Like I said, I have a lot of content coming out in the new year. And I'm really excited. Lots of mindset stuff. I'm going to talk about finances. I'm going to just talk about a lot of mindset stuff though. Self-concept stuff. What else? I'm just like going off of whatever I have in my head, but self-belief. I don't know, whatever. We'll talk more about it. But I hope you guys enjoy your new year. The next episode that comes out is January 1st, I believe, isn't that so therapeutic thinking about January 1st being on a Monday? I don't know about you guys, but the perfectionist in me is like, thank you. Perfect. We're going to have a perfect year because of that. But yeah, I hope you guys had good holidays. If you did enjoy the holidays, and if you didn't listen to the holiday episode, I would suggest you do, especially around New Year's Eve, because I did have a little section in there about FOMO regarding New Year's Eve plans and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to come into another year of the podcast with you guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support. You guys are just amazing. Also, the support on my book If you guys have not already heard, I have my book coming out January 9th, but you can get it for pre-order now. And if you do that, you will get a free journal guide, shadow work journal guide. And the book is called The Ultimate Glow Up Guide, a guide of self-growth, self-care, and becoming the best version of yourself. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.